What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Paper Planes channel. This is my Dark Souls 2 Ultimate walkthrough. We're going to go ahead and tap the bonfire here. And of course we're going to travel back to an area that we were just at. It's going to be the Doors of Pharos. And go to Girm's Respite. I have no idea if I'm saying that word correctly, but just roll with it. So I've been playing some of the new PlayStation 4 exclusive Bloodborne, same developers as Dark Souls. It's freaking awesome. Honestly, it makes Dark Souls feel like a cakewalk so far. So I'm happy to be back to some Dark Souls 2. I was sick for a while. I'm almost completely over it. I've still got some congestion, and I still probably will hack and cough occasionally. But I'm feeling a lot better, so I decided to get back onto the wagon with this walk through and finish things up. So let's go to our melee stuff. Gonna come out here and fight this big baddie. For those of you on the fence if you should get PS4, you definitely should get it. Not just for the Bloodborne game, but you also want to play the Uncharted exclusive that is coming out. I've just always been a big fan of PlayStation exclusive games. They're my favorite titles overall. So, you know, if you got the money and you're looking for something to get, PlayStation 4 is where it's at. But that being said, I love PC. If I have the choice of playing a game that's on PC and it's on console, I'm always going to get it on PC. It's just so much smoother. Typically. It's not always the case if a game was first developed for console and then for PC as an afterthought. Now, you don't want to do too much damage to that guy while he's in front of the chest, but hitting the chest once or twice is totally okay. So here we go, get a dragon charm. Yay! Now let's keep moving around this corner here. When we come through here, we've got Gavlan, the merchant. We've already spoke with him, and that's why he's gone. But if you never dealt with him before, you'll have Gavlan right here, and all you can do is buy a couple items, or you can sell some of your stuff that you don't want anymore. So if you've got some things bogging up your inventory that you know you're never going to use, go ahead and sell them. You're not going to get a whole lot of souls, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Alright, so when we come down this hallway here, this guy's going to throw some axes at us, but he can't actually reach us. No, you'll see how short they fall. They look like they're coming a lot farther than they are, but they're just not. And if you move in towards them, they actually kind of follow your path. So just like most things in this game, the trajectory of projectiles never make any sense. And this guy's pretty hilarious because after he throws his axes, he just comes at us with his fist like he's going to do something special. So we pick up his great axe there. Now we're going to come in this area, and of course you've got these guys, and you cannot chase them down. You can see how fast they are. So if you're going to come through here, you're going to use your sorcery to kill that crystal lizard. We'll have a dude sitting with his back to us. He's an easy kill. And then if you want, you can try to keep jumping up here over and over and over again. Someone will leave a note there, undoubtedly telling you to do so. So enjoy that fun waste of time. Now with this enemy, we can still approach him even on this shallow area here. He's going to hit you, but he will not stagger you, so you can get 3 hits on him and kill him. Heal up if you like. There's not a whole lot of danger ahead of us, so you don't need to be too careful in these areas. Alright. Let's make sure nothing behind us. Oh, a note. A shortcut. The lies. Alright, so bash these containers here. Get yourself that Radiant Life Gem. Don't think there's anything. Nope. Okay. So here we are at Brightstone Cove, and this is our main destination for this episode. Now you can see off in the distance there's an enemy. He's hacking away at something. He's actually pretty mindless. He'll never really attack you, so you don't need to worry about him. But these tents here, they conceal the enemies within them. This first one we're just going to roll through, and then there's a bonfire right behind it. So we'll run in this guy and tap it. Before we start killing anything in the area, we might as well light the bonfire before we do that. That way we don't have to kill something twice unnecessarily. Alright, so once you tap it, I want you to run back out the way you came in. Give yourself some distance so you can see any enemies that might be approaching you. And we're going to move along the left end here. We should get one or two guys coming after us. You can see one dude in the tent right there. So he'll come after us. And he's got his buddy behind him as well. Alright, and you should be able to see him in the tent. He's got two more guys in there, but their backs are towards us. So what we can do here is switch to our casting. Nice. Now this guy right here, like I said, he's no danger, so just walk up and give him a good old backstab. When you're doing that, make sure that you turn your camera to look behind you just in case there's any kind of enemy approaching. Oh, he didn't die. Guess he had like one hit point left. Way to keep up the good fight there, buddy. So after you loot all this garbage, there's really nothing there. That's, you know, it's just a bunch of crap souls. We're first going to destroy this tower here. Get the nice lacerating arrow package. Now we've got a lot of containers in here, but there's nothing of real danger, and this is the tent where we just killed those enemies. So I just basically want you to clear out the area. You'll come in here. There's the bonfire. Okay, so we know we've gotten all those tents, but you see these wild little piggies here. The pigs are really easy. You just let them charge you, and then you get all your shots in. So come on. These are much easier than the small little pigs in Majula because those are hard to hit. They're so low to the ground that you'll often swing overhead. Alright, so here we've got another enemy that decided to join the party. And that's what I mean. You always got to kind of keep your eyes open. They will show up kind of just out of nowhere. So we got that. Let's get this item here. Alright. And you'll see this corpse here on the well. We're going to loot that. And then before we leave the area, we're going to go over here. And we're going to drop down into the well. So we get holy water, and that's actually good for the boss that we're going to fight in this area. It's good for a couple different enemies in that boss fight, so you can definitely use those there. Open up the chest. Gonna get 5 effigies, and that's a pretty good score. So once you're out, drop down, and let's see. In one of these tents, we've got a summoning sign, and I believe it's the one where we destroy all the crates. Okay, so basically right here, if you have spoken to the guy who wields basically the counterfeit sword, I'm trying to think of his name. He's the NPC that chills by, I don't know, I can't think of the guy's name right now, I'm drawing a blank, but he basically holds that big blue sword, and he thinks it's like super fantastical, magical awesomeness, but it's really just a regular old sword. So yeah, his summon sign will be in one of those tents, and you can help have him summon for this area. He'll continue with you all the way through to the first boss fight, which he is pretty helpful in that instance, but of course it's not necessary. We can do all we need to do just by ourselves. Usually when that guy releases a trap, he's going to kill himself. So just all you need to do is trigger it. If he doesn't kill himself with the contact of the boulder, then he'll either come down the ladder or we'll be able to climb up the ladder and kill him just as easily. Now, this is important. If you do have the NPC with you, you're going to want to make sure to kill this last guy right here as quickly as possible, because he will probably activate the trap when your NPC runs by to engage with those other enemies down there. and possibly wreck him way sooner than needs be. Okay, so once you loot that, you can take a look at this cool area down below. It's pretty awesome. Slide down the ladder, and we get to deal with all of these guys. I suggest climbing back up the ladder so you can handle them one at a time. What you can do is use your projectiles, you can use your sorcery, anything like that. Make the fight real easy. Of course, when you're up top and you just want to be a melee fighter, you can use like a lunging attack if you want. Some kind of drop down attack for massive damage. Let's see if we can do one of those. Oh, just a little bit too shallow there, but that's okay. Man, these guys just last like one hit point after my crit damage. Okay, so we got a torch there. Not too bad. Last time I played through that zone and killed those guys, got a Titanite chunk, I believe, so that was pretty sweet. Make sure to grab this, turn around, and now we'll deal with these guys. I'm going to suggest using range. Just make things real simple like this. You can see how fast we're casting spells. That's thanks to the armor set that we're wearing with that all three pieces besides the helm being spent on spellcasting speed. So that is something that's very beneficial to us. Alright, so we come down here. Now this first room you might think is a little bit suspicious, but it's actually okay. There's nothing in here that's dangerous. However, there is some danger in the second room, and what I'm going to suggest to you is taking out your range attack equipment and your binoculars. We're basically going to draw out this one spider. Once we hit him, all the other spiders are going to come after us, but we're going to retreat back to the area we came in. That way we can try to get them in a choke point here once my targeting works. Boom. Nice. See how easy that was? Now if we didn't cast our spells as quickly as we can there, it might be a little bit difficult. They'd probably catch up to us with about 2 or 3 still surviving at that point. But it's a lot better than being in the middle of this room and having them all release upon you all at once. Now this chest is trapped. It's not a mimic, but be ready to evade. Get away. The red ball of death. Alright, so here we pick up 20 heavy bolts. Of course, that's for crossbow equipment. Now we're going to continue through this door here. Do not go through the fog gate. In fact, just walk forward and interact with this special trap door here. Gonna go up the stairs. There's no enemies in here, so don't worry. That bloodstain is... I don't know why that bloodstain is there. Pick up the Estus shard. Let's check this guy out. La 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 la. Must have been fighting an invader, or he drug some enemies up here. Not quite sure what he did. Alright, so before we enter the boss, what I want to do is make sure that I'm at maximum health, maximum healthage. And we're going to go to our equipment, and I want to move some things around so I can have only what I need for this boss fight. Now, there are a lot of enemies in here for the boss fight. There's 2 enemies that you want to focus on. They're clerics. They're going to do massive damage with lightning miracle spells, and they're going to heal. So you want to kill them first. Then there's the boss itself, which is the Magus, the dark thing that is clearly identifiable. You'll be able to separate him just by his look alone. So that is the last enemy that you want to kill, but you want to be aware of its presence. Now there's the Congregation, which is basically all the other little low-level scrubs that are wandering around. They're not much of a threat to you, but they can bog you down. So what I'm going to suggest is by doing an alluring skull right when you get in there, so that all the lower level enemies will focus on that bait, and then you'll be able to focus on the clerics and the other stuff and basically handle your business. Okay, so let's find our gear here. There's our alluring skulls. And then I want to use some holy water just to do some burst damage to either the clerics or the main boss. Now if you dual wield your weapon, you'll be able to stagger. And staggering is of course good, but I'm only going to suggest that against the final opponent because you're going to want your shield just in case. So don't just run in there, balls out, swinging your sword two-handed, because you're probably going to get hit by a bunch of lightning and die. Alright, so let's do this. Run! Now, if you use these little pieces of furniture here, it's going to give you an opportunity to avoid some of that damage. Now, of course, you can use your sorcery. Sorcery is really good in this instance too, because it allows us to keep at a range and we can dodge things when we need to. So what I like to do is separate some of these enemies. You can see what a pain in the ass this becomes once it's all wide open. So killing the clerics is your priority, just because of the health. They'll constantly heal, so once you get one down, you want to focus on the other. Alright, so now we should be able to take him out pretty quickly. Alright, so the rest of this fight should be pretty simple once we get away from these little bad scrubby dudes here. Back off a little bit. Get some distance between you and the mage. And now just cast on the little ones. Alright, now we're going to go back to melee, dual wield here, and just go in and start swinging away. Super, super easy. Now, like I said, if you have the NPC with you, this fight becomes just a very simple tactic, because basically the NPC is going to be wearing some pretty substantial armor, he's going to take a lot of damage, and most of the enemies will focus on him. So you won't have all this stuff pursuing you all at once. So of course, if you have an NPC or a fellow player with you, this fight becomes pretty much a laughing joke. But even solo, it's not difficult. You just want to remain on the move, and most of the enemies aren't going to continually barrage you with harmful spells. If the clerics were more offensive minded, you'd probably be screwed in this fight just coming in here by yourself, but it's not the case, so we handle things pretty well. Alright, so we'll move through here. Now, there's a couple things here. There's this ladder to go up top, and then there's this room over here. And it's like, what is this room for? Damn it. So, we're going to climb up the ladder. There's lots of loot here, and then there's this NPC. And he's basically an absolution NPC. He's going to absolve your sins. So pick up all the gear before you forget. Now you can communicate with him. I'm just going to burn through the chat options.
Regret together. But now.
Alright, so you can ask for pardon. You can continue talking to him. He's just got one thing to say after that. And then you can buy the armor set. The armor set doesn't have any special properties, but it's a pretty decent armor set. And of course here you get the dark crochet, you get the special rings, but what we're really going to be doing here is spending on miracles. Eventually we're going to be using miracles, so you want to go ahead and buy them while you've got these souls on you. Okay, and now there's a couple more spells that we couldn't afford right now. So we'll go back to our inventory and see what kind of souls we've got to spend. You can see here we've got plenty of things. So we got all the cash we need, and I'm going to use one of these. And that's just enough to get what we want. So we'll buy that, and then his last spell here. And now we are good to go. So let's go ahead and leave him.
Forget our sins.
Climb the ladder and slide all the way down. Now, well, I'll go ahead and show you. This is the area that we'll be moving through very soon. So you could technically jump over there if you wanted to right now, but that is not what we're trying to do. So make sure to go around here, and we're going to tap this bonfire. Booyah! Made it, baby. So rest here. And that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you did, click that like button. Leave a comment in the section below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. You can find all of this information in the video details below. See you guys next time. Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for visiting my channel. I know there's lots of awesome content on YouTube, and it really means a lot you chose to view my videos. I hope you enjoyed them and will join me on my other social media accounts. And of course, subscribe here to become a part of the Paper Planes channel YouTube community.